Welcome to Boys of Yoga. I'm Chris McGee. The class today is called Big Up Yourself. We're going to work through upper body strength and conditioning. So we're going to be mobilizing the shoulders, opening into that space and building towards a peak posture of Pincha Mayurasana, our forearm balance. This is Charlie and this is Robert. They're going to be demonstrating with me today. They're going to show some modifications. So if you find any of the exercises too difficult or too challenging, you can take options as we go through. Let's get started. Bringing yourself forward to a 4-point base. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Biceps wrapping in, triceps pointing backwards. We warm the wrists to begin with. Bring the shoulders forward over the fingertips and start to circle the weight around clockwise direction. Making sure that we've got a nice strong connection through the index finger. Activating that muscle between the index finger and the thumb. Pressing strong to the thumb side of the wrist all the time today. Changing direction, circle around the other way. Again, this could be as big or as small as you like depending on how much wrist flexibility you have. As you bring it into the center, turn the fingertips to the outside edges of the mat. Nice big inhale in the middle. Exhale starts to pour all the weight over the right hand. Still bicep pointing forward. Think about releasing with the breath. So every time we shift side, the inhale brings us to the center, the exhale is moving the weight across. So it matches your breath. As fast or as slow as you need to go. Balancing yourself up. Finish off once more to the other side. Inhale brings us back to center. Turning the fingertips around to face the knees. Make sure we keep the biceps pointing forwards, nice and strong through the upper body. The exhale starts to sit the hips down towards the heels. If the heel of the hand starts to peel away from the floor, that's okay. You're just going to think about your edge today, working towards. Make sure we get the stretch all the way from the tips of the fingers to the eye of the elbow. So it's not just the wrist in isolation, it's the whole of the forearm getting stretched and released here. The inhale brings us back forwards. We turn the back of the hands down to the mat, fingertips coming in to the center. Still wrapping the biceps forwards. Try and pour the weight into the thumb side of the wrist, keeping it away from the pinky. As we exhale, bend the elbows out to the sides of the mat, releasing the chest between the hands. And the inhale draws us back up tall to the top, activating into the scapula as we do. Exhale bends and releases. Inhale draws back up tall to the top. One more time now, exhale to bend. Inhale to bring us back up tall to the top. Staying tall. Work the weight into the thumb side of the wrist as much as you can. Now if we need to modify here, we can bring the knees a little bit closer towards the hands, but keep the shoulders forward as we do. So we want to avoid this sinking back into the pinky side of the wrist. This is taking all the pressure away from that stretch. Keeping yourself forward, and if we need to increase, we start to work the knees further and further away. Maybe we even want to come right the way back. We can come into reverse-handed plank. And once you get here, there's options to add little presses and things like that, depending on how strong you feel if you want to progress a little bit further. One more nice deep breath there. The exhale is going to release the hands. We're turning back to face forward. Activate into the shoulders and step your right leg and left leg back, coming into your regular plank pose. Now we're going to activate strongly into the scapula for our plank today. So this space between the shoulder blades is getting pressed up high to the sky. So we're almost in like a little cat back, arching nice and strong. We're nice and tucked into the core and strong, strong, strong through the belly. Keep it nice and neutral as we do. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, tucks the chin into the chest and rolls us back towards our downward facing dog. The first down dog of the practice. Bend, tread, play. Explore the movement as much as you need. Wiggle into the hips, the shoulders. Take notice if there's any difference, left side, right side, if you're feeling any sort of tightness, any impingements. Think about the shoulders more than the legs in our down dog today. So you see Charlie's got a nice bend in his knee. This is absolutely fine in order to keep this great line through the low back. And he's just really working that chest back towards the thighs every time he exhales. Take one more deep breath there, guys, in stillness. Bend the knees deeply. Slowly walk the feet up towards the hand. Coming into a forward fold at the front of the mat. Feet will stay hip distance apart. Hang heavy through the crown of the head. Reach across, grab a hold of opposite elbows, and gently sway yourself from side to side. The motion starting from the pelvis and working all the way down to the crown. So the spine is just waterfalling out of the hips here. And we're nice and easy. The movement is coming through the hips, down towards the head. Bringing yourself into the center line. Release the arms, super heavy. Deep bend of the knees, chest goes to thighs, and we slowly curl up the back, one vertebra at a time, coming tall to stand. Activate through the abdominals, draw in, pulling the shoulders back. Lace the fingers together in front of you, and push the palms strong, shoulder height. Tuck the chin into the chest, and really try and make that domed shape with your upper back, just like you had in your plank position. So we're feeling that stretch and release coming right between the scapula, opening up into the back here. As we inhale, lengthen the hands up high to the sky, palms facing the ceiling, stay locked at the top. Now we're trying to avoid opening into the back, so we don't want to get that back bend here. We want to keep pulled in through the front side of the body, strong through the abdominals, and really open into the shoulders. So every time we inhale, think about getting a little taller, and every time we exhale, think about the biceps drawing back a little bit further, so strong in the front body. Excellent. Take one more nice deep inhale. Exhale, release the hands round behind the back. Fingertips are going to point up to the ceiling. Heel of the hand is pressing down into the top of the pelvis. So we're getting that nice activation, drawing the elbows together, lengthening across the collarbones, and finding ourselves opening into our standing supported camel. Good. Place the hands, place them on the back right there. Good. So as we lengthen across, we're staying long through the back of the neck, we're opening the chest towards the sky, and then we're starting to extend in. Now just go to your limit. We don't want to feel any crush or compression moving through the back here. We want to think strictly about lengthening and extending as far as we need to go. The next deep breath, the inhale brings us tall to stand. The exhale is going to release our hands, and with a nice long spine, we're coming down towards our forward fold. Again, we're hanging heavy over towards the ground. Heel toe the feet in together. Big toes are going to touch at the midline of the body. Heels are slightly apart. Spread your toes nice and wide and activate the corners of your feet, distributing the weight, big toe, baby toe, and the heel. Bend the knees deeply. Inhale is going to roll us up the back, one vertebra at a time, again coming tall to stand. This inhale sweeps the hands high overhead, laces the fingers together, and extends gently, pressing the pelvis into a small back bend. Our exhale releases nice long spine coming down into the forward fold. We move to our halfway lifts. Inhale, flattening the back halfway. Hands could be the floor, the shins, the thighs, or with a knee bend if you need. Exhale is going to bend and release into the fold. Inhale, flattens the back again. And exhale to bend. Lovely, guys. One more time. Inhale, flattening. Exhale, bending, releasing. Wrap the hands around the back of the legs. Index fingers are touching the Achilles tendon, and the forearm is laid down the back of the calf. So we're getting a strong bind with the legs. If we need to bend the knees in order to make that modification, that's fine. If you're working with a bent knee, eventually you're going to work towards straightening the legs every time we inhale. If we already have straight legs and we're releasing heavy through the crown of the head, we're going to try and draw the weight forward into the balls of the feet just to increase that stretch a little bit more through the back line of the body. Take one more nice deep breath wherever we are. The exhale releases the hands down to the floor. Bending the knees, step your right leg back into your low lunge position. Nice and strict with our lunge alignment. So we're thinking 90 degrees through the front thigh. Knee is staying directly over the ankle. Left thigh parallel to the floor. We're pressing and releasing through the pelvis, retracting through the shoulder blades to try and keep us lengthened right the way to the crown of the head. Long through the back leg, so the right heel is reaching away towards the back wall away from you. As you inhale, straighten the left leg, eyes are releasing towards the knee, finding that length, neutral hips. Exhale is going to bend and release us back into the lunge. Again, don't feel like you have to rush, mirror your breath. Inhale to straight, and exhale, bend and release to the lunge. Once, inhale, straighten, holding at the top. Stay lengthened through that left leg, rolling the right hip forward, drawing back and creating that space at the top of the left thigh. Really lengthening out through the spine and releasing heavy through the crown of the head. So there's just a little bit of submission at the end of the pose. If we feel like we need to go a little bit further, start to creep your fingertips towards the front edge of the mat, maintaining that position with your legs. One more nice deep breath. Exhale will bend and release us into our lunge position. Press the ground strongly with your hands. Activate your shoulders. Sweep your left foot back to meet your right in your plank position. Again, strong and active into those shoulders. Biceps wrapping forwards, triceps pointing back. So we've got that little bit of a dome in our upper back. Now you can take a kneeling variation here if you need, but we're going to work repetitiously through our chaturangas. The inhale is going to draw us forward 1 inch. Exhale is going to bend and lower, strong to 90 degrees. Inhale is going to bring us back to the top. Excellent. Exhale, lower bend, 90 degrees chaturanga. Inhale, back up. Exhale to bend and lower. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bends and lowers. Inhale to the top. Wonderful. Last time. Exhale, bend, lower. Inhale, untucks the toes. Sweeps us through to our cobra or upward facing dog, lengthening through the spine, long through the crown of the head. Exhale, tucks the chin into the chest, pours us back towards our downward facing dog. Nice and easy. Take a couple of breaths here, guys. If you need, your child's pose is always there. You can lower your knees, press the hips to the heels. If you're happy to stay in your down dog, really focus the breath. Again, think about the shoulders. Think about what the spine is doing today. We're using our down dog for that benefit rather than the focus being in the legs and the hamstrings. One more deep breath. Our exhale bends the knees, looking forward. Step walk, float to the front of the mat. This time we'll go toes together. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold and release. Bend the knees deeply, slowly rolling up the back one vertebra at a time. Bring ourselves tall to stand. The inhale is going to sweep the hands high overhead, looking to the thumbs. Exhale is circling around behind the back, lacing the fingers together, whichever way feels comfortable. As we inhale, we're picking the hands up away from the spine. Find the length across the collarbones. Then start to draw the chest open to the sky. So we're extending ever so slightly into that back bend, still activating through the front side of the body. Keep the hands bound. Exhale hinges from the hip, pours us down, crown of the head to the floor, eyes to knees, hands to the sky. Now your hands might just be 1 inch off your back, that's okay. Or if you've got nice open shoulders, they're going to increase this distance here. Really think about the hands drawing towards the wall away from you. Every time we lengthen, lovely Robert, nice. Still breathing deep into the low back. One more inhale. The exhale releases your hands to the floor. Inhale flattens the back out, halfway lift. Exhale folds and releases us down. This time bending the knees. Step the left leg back, find that low lunge position. Strict 90 degrees through the right leg. Hips are pressing down, shoulders are retracting. Maybe that brings you into a little fingertip stand. That might be a better option for you today. Just explore that, feel how your body is in this position. Our inhale straightens the right leg, looking towards the knee. Exhale bends and releases us into the lunge. Again, inhale to straighten, neutral hips at the top. Exhale to bend and release. Keeping this back heel up. Inhale straightens. And hold right there. Think about drawing that right hip back, rolling the left hip forward. The heel stays directly behind the toes. And again, if we need to increase, we're starting to creep the fingertips towards the front edge of the mat. Long and easy through the spine, bowed through the crown of the head the whole time. Our exhale bends and releases us down into the lunge. Press the hands strong into the floor, active shoulders, sweeping the right foot back to meet the left plank pose. Tall through the body. This time we're going to just shrug through the scapula. So you might not have seen this before. The arms stay nice and long, biceps stay wrapped and contracted, and we really dome up into the back as much as we can. As we exhale, hips stay where they are, and we just drop the shoulders, trying to bring the shoulder blades together in a retracted position. Inhale brings us back up to the top, arms staying long. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale, lowers. Inhale. Exhale, lowers. Inhale. Wonderful, guys. This time, shift the body forward 1 inch. Exhale, bend, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Hold. Now we're going to go for a strong 15-second hold here. If this is a little too intense, you can always pop the knees down. Keep the pelvis active. 5 more seconds to go. Deep breaths. Keep the ujjayi strong. Press the index knuckle into the floor. Next inhale, untucking the toes, sweeping us up into our cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, tucking the chin, pouring yourself back, coming into your downward facing dog. Easy breaths at the top. Wonderful, guys. If you need to take a little rest, this is a good time to rest. You can pause it, rest there. If you're happy to continue, we're going to bring the feet together at the midline of the body, big toes touching. Inhaling your right leg, high to the sky. Folding the heel towards the sitting bone. We're opening the pelvis at the top. Think about length through the whole right side of the body. We're really getting that space into the right hip flexor, but we're trying to rotate that right shoulder back towards the floor. So the shoulders and the hips are now working in opposition. We're getting that strong rotation through the body. As we exhale, bring the knee forward to the nose, shift the weight into the shoulders, strong and active in the scapula. Inhale all the way back up to the sky. Exhale takes the right knee to the right tricep, same side, strong scapula. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale across the body to the left elbow. Inhale brings us all the way back up. Wonderful. Long leg. Draws down to meet the left. We're going to work into our dolphin variation, strengthening the triceps. Still wrapped into our down dog position. Our exhale bends and releases the elbows to the floor. Inhale brings us back to straight arms. Now you have the option to move one arm at a time. That's a little bit easier. Both arms is a little more difficult. So we'll go for 5. Exhale, bend and release. Inhale to straighten the arms 1. Exhale, bends. Inhale, straightening 2. Exhale, bending. Inhale, straightening 3. Exhale, bending. Inhale, straightening 4. Exhale, bending. Inhale, straightening 5. Wonderful. Deep breaths in your down dog. Option again to take a little child's pose if you need to have a rest. That's absolutely fine. Progress when you feel ready. We're going to move it on to the left side. Bringing the toes together again. Left leg this time long into the air. Folding the heel to the sitting bone, opening the hip, stacking those hips, really working that rotation, that opposition of the shoulders. So we're lengthening through the whole left side of the body. We're still pressing the chest back towards the thighs, getting that openness into the shoulder and trying to have it face the ground. Nice, good. One more nice deep breath here. The exhale brings the knee forward to the nose, shifts the weight into the arms. Inhale takes us all the way back up. Exhaling, left knee to left tricep, same side. Inhale draws long all the way up. Exhale goes across the body to the right elbow. And the inhale draws us all the way back to the top. Wonderful. Slow, lower the left leg down to meet the right. This time exhale, releasing the elbows down into our dolphin pose. Think about the alignment of the arms. We're going to make that strong 90 degrees, shoulders over the elbows, elbows in line with the wrists. You spread the fingers nice and wide. Maybe bring the thumbs together. That's a nice option for this as well. So we're making that strong connection from the very tips of the fingers to the elbow, pressing that chest back towards the thighs. Now we're going to move a little dolphin dive here, just to develop some strength into the front deltoid. As we exhale, shift the shoulders forward towards the thumbs. And exhale, press yourself back, chest to thighs. Inhale, shifts the shoulders forward. Exhale, press yourself back. Good. Guys, you go for 3 more. There's the option every time we do reps in this, guys, you can increase or decrease depending on your strength level. So if you want to do more repetitions, absolutely fine. If you feel like you've only got 2 or 3 instead of the 5, just work to your capabilities. When you finish the reps that you're ready for, the exhale is going to lower the knees down to the ground, press the hips back to the heels, take our child's pose. Stay super active in our child's pose today. We're reaching those fingertips towards the front edge of the mat, pressing strong into the arms, trying to get that extra little bit of release through the shoulders, spreading out through there. Really heavy and long through the neck, and the hips are descending back down towards the heels as best we can. If it feels a little uncomfortable to have your feet flattened on the top, you can tuck your toes at the back, that's okay. Just find a variation that works for you. Another option, circle the hands around to grasp the heels. You could do that as well. Robert's demonstrating that for us. Take one more nice deep breath there. That's nice strong work. We're going to see if we can develop this into our full inversion, our Pincha Mayurasana. One more deep inhale, exhale. As we inhale, draw yourself forward to that 4-point base where we started the practice. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We're going to lower the elbows down to the ground, onto the forearms, and find our variation. So a couple of different variations we could work. Maybe you want to trap a block between your hands. That's an option. We want to spread nice and wide. Active through all the corners of the hand. Trying to maintain that good alignment. The temptation for chaps is to let the elbows flare, depending on your shoulder flexibility. So you really want to work on keeping the elbows in and keeping this architecture strong as we move into our pincha. So tuck the toes, elevate the hips nice and high, press the chest back towards the thighs. This time when we work with our breath, the inhale, walking the feet a little bit closer towards the hands, and the exhale is pressing the chest back to the thighs, drawing that in. Now, Charlie's going to demonstrate our first option. He's just going to walk in and he's going to hold. This is option 1. Stay there, develop your strength. Option 2, if we're going to go into the full inversion, you bring the toes together, pick a leg, take it up high to the sky, a little tiny bend of the leg, and a hop takes us up. So I'm going to assist Robert here for this one. Good. Draw up, draw up. Yes, lovely. Trap the thighs. Wonderful. And we're strong. Nice strong alignment, pulling in through the belly. You have the option as well, if you've got good release. Take it down. Nice. You've got the option as well. If it's in your practice, you can move to your hollow backs. You can take your full inversion, split legs, start to play around with it. Totally up to you. When you're finished, lowering the toes to the ground, the knees to the ground, the hips to heels. Find yourself in your child's pose. Again, take any arm variation that feels nice for your shoulders today. We're going to cool ourselves down. One more nice deep inhale, exhale. Inhale, shifting forward to your 4-point base. Tucking the toes, rising into your downward facing dog. Bending the knees, twisting them across to the left edge of the mat, lowering your right thigh to the ground, and chest lower to the floor. I want you to lengthen your right arm out long. Keep the left hand underneath the shoulder. We're going to gently press the left hand into the ground and turn, opening the shoulders towards the sky, feeling a little stretch through the right pectoral, right shoulder. Exhale releases us back down, chest to floor. Again, switching arms, left leg coming along, right hand coming in. Press the right hand, have a little bit of a counter twist. You're going to have a lot less movement on that side. Just go as far as feels natural. Exhale releases you back down. Hands will come in. We tuck the toes, rise back up to the downward facing dog. Bending the knees, twist to the other side. Knees going to the right. Left thigh going down to the ground, releasing the chest first of all. Left arm lengthening out. Right hand under the shoulder, pressing strong, opening chest to sky. As you exhale, you release yourself down. Switching the arms, lengthening right arm long, bringing the left hand in, countering that out. And releasing ourselves back down. Hands will come in. We'll rise back through our downward facing dog. Lower the knees, press the hips to the heels, child's pose. Thank you very much for practicing with us today, guys. Check out all of our videos at boysofyoga.com. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.